He was the voice of the Lehigh Valley for a while until he was put on mute. Former morning DJ Ken Matthews went from not being able to get another local radio gig to filling in on a nationally syndicated show.
It's a comeback story that Matthews is hoping will help others. WFMZ's Jackie Ferris reports.
I watch a lot of medical shows, so from time to time I play a doctor on the radio.
This is the Ken Matthews many in the Lehigh Valley remember. For 15 years, Matthews was the morning guy, making us laugh with a joke or a bit. Until he wasn't. Matthews was fired from B104 in 2006, not only losing his job, but also part of his identity.
It was quite the wake-up call.
Matthews says he was numb. He didn't want to leave his hometown, but for years he couldn't get another radio gig in the Valley. Instead, he found work at Cabela's and tried his hand at real estate.
Well, as Will was just telling us.
And did a brief stint doing traffic for 69 News at Sunrise. Matthews says he did a lot of soul-searching and refocused his priorities.
I was around for so many of my kids' things. You know, I was at soccer games, I was at PTA meetings, I was at all this stuff that I would have never been at.
Even so, Matthews says he couldn't get radio out of his head. So in 2010, he started doing talk radio mornings for Jolly Joe Timmer on WGPA. Matthews says he knew instantly this was his path, and soon other fill-in opportunities followed. Then in 2017, he was hired to fill in for nationally syndicated conservative talk show host Buck Sexton on the Premier Radio Network and iHeartRadio. And a year later came the call of a lifetime.
If you said then, 6 years ago, you know, 2018, you're going to be filling in for Rush Limbaugh, I would have been like, yeah, whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome today's guest host, Ken Matthews.
But that's exactly what happened. Matthews went from not being able to get a job to filling in at the top of the talk show game.
The first time I filled in for Rush Limbaugh, I said, I think this could be the first time my wife ever listened to an entire show of mine. And I was right.
Today, in addition to hosting his own shows at Harrisburg and Philly radio stations, Matthews is a regular guest host for Limbaugh. Matthews says his outlook has changed dramatically over the last 13 years, and he's now sharing what he's learned through inspirational speaking.
It's about, you know, failing big, and building on it. A lot of your problems you make yourself.
Yesterday, New Year's Day, when I arrived at the city, the weather was gorgeous.
Matthews says he's excited to see what the future holds, but no matter what, he'll stay focused on his family and the knowledge that success isn't final, failure isn't fatal. It's the courage to continue that really counts.
Those are the biggies right there.
Jackie Ferris, 69 News.